Sorry. I forgot I recorded. Hello, welcome to Matt's Rants, Episode 3, mother truckers! Sorry. Episode 3 means I've only done 3 episodes. I'm slacking on my shows. I gotta get going again. But anyway, I'm gonna be ending some of them pretty soon, season-wise or whatever-wise, so I'll have more time to do more videos on my other ones that I'm lacking on. Matt's Rants, Episode 3, Remakes. Why they suck, why they should be avoided. No. I don't really know the first remake that was out there. I don't really know why Hollywood thought we need to remake every freaking movie that comes across the pike, but apparently somewhere along the line they thought this was a good idea, and then everything got remade, horror-wise, comedy-wise, any-wise. It's more horror. I think it's more prevalent in horror than it is in anything else, though, because it seems that there's a lot more horror remakes than any other kind of genre that I can tell. And the fact that most remakes, horror, comedy, sci-fi, whatever, there's even been some drama ones kind of mixed in there with mixed results. Most remakes, the bottom line though on remakes, they aren't very good, and there's really no need to make them. I guess Hollywood thinks they need to recapture something with new audiences, which is fine, but then it gets a little to the point where people are like, they can't differentiate between the new one and the old one, and the people don't watch the old one, and all they know is the new one. I don't know. Me and my brother have had this conversation about remakes. Like, people forget about the old good one, and then they want to associate the new one as to what the franchise or whatever is about, and then they forget about the one that's actually good. Like the Friday the 13th remake, which wasn't very good in my opinion. I don't know. The Nightmare on Elm Street one wasn't very good in my opinion. Trying to think of other ones that didn't really improve on the original. I think the I Spit on Your Grave one was decent because I don't know. It was about as disturbing as the original. They were both. I actually kind of liked the original a little bit better. I don't know. You guys may not have heard of I Spit on Your Grave. It's a pretty hardcore fucking movie. If you haven't ever seen it, excuse my language. There is going to be a little bit of language in this video because I can't rant without cussing. Apparently, it's included in the rant. But basically, most remakes aren't very good. There may have been a few improvements. Actually, there are a few improvements on the original. The Toolbox Murders, for example, is a remake of I believe a 70s horror film. And the remake I thought is actually improved on the original. It was more creepy, more exciting, and I think the story was actually better. And it was Toby Hooper actually did the remake of that one. So, I thought that was actually pretty good. The Texas Chainsaw ones, they were kind of hit or miss. Some of them were a little better, some were a little worse. I think that was actually probably about equal to the original because it maintained the creepiness and the goriness of Toby Hooper's original idea. Maybe not quite as effective, but pretty close. Some of them get pretty close to the original on the way they make them. Some of them are not as effective. Let me think. I can't say Ghostbusters because I haven't reviewed that one yet, so I can't say what I think about that one. But trying to think of maybe like a comedy one that was remade that was either good or bad. I can't think of any for this in this moment in time. Mostly horror. It's kind of been more horror than comedy. I know they're supposed to make a new Beetlejuice. It's not a remake though. It's more like a new one. It's more like a sequel. I've heard talks of remakes that haven't actually come into fruition. There's been talk of all kinds of movies being remade and redone and revamped and whatever the word they want to use. Revamped, redone, this, that. You know, it's been all over the place. A lot of them, you know. Well, The Last House on the Left remake was actually okay. Whether it was equal to the original, I didn't think so. It was gory and creepy, but it didn't quite have the feel as the original Wes Craven one, which is actually really hard to watch if you've never actually seen it. It's a pretty hardcore, you know, grimy kind of horror movie. There are a couple ones that I kind of actually wish they would remake, that it would probably improve on it. But the ones, like the main ones, like the franchise ones, like the Nightmare on Elm Street, the Friday the 13th, the ones that are kind of near and dear to what, you know, I have a kind of a past recollection, a past love for. I don't like that they remake those, because they normally, on the classic ones like that, you can really only fuck them up even worse. I mean, it's been a rare experience when they've actually improved on the original idea of a story like that. I feel Child's Play is probably going to be the next to come up on the remake chopping block. I have a bad feeling about it, but they're going to fuck up Child's Play one way or the other. They're going to do it pretty soon. No, I just have a bad feeling. The Night of the Demons remake from the original Kevin S. Tinney idea, which is about kids that are trapped in a kind of like a haunted house kind of thing. That one was pretty creepy and a decent remake. Whether it equaled the original, it got pretty close. It was pretty close on the idea, and the characters were about kind of the same. Some likable, some not. But it was pretty good. It was pretty close on the remake, so that was a good one. You might want to check that one out. Friday the 13th one, I wouldn't recommend that. I didn't like that one very much. I wouldn't recommend that one. The Nightmare on Elm Street one was okay, but again, you can't really beat Robert Englund. I mean, you're going up against the guy who's basically the icon in the Nightmare on Elm Street. Actually, the guy that actually made the Nightmare on Elm Street film. So, you know, going up against Robert Englund with Jackie Earle Haley is, you know, not really going to even add up. Plus, the new Freddy looked kind of creepy. I don't know. I mean, not creepy, just kind of, he didn't look quite right, like them, the way they did the stuff like that. Plus, another argument I heard from the other one was like about the new one, and this is kind of funny because I'm like, the other Freddy, because it was exactly the same way. He was like, well, he was a pedophile. I'm like, well, the original Freddy was a pedophile. He may not have delved as deeply into that as they did in the remake, but he did like children. I mean, that was his main thing. He liked children. I mean, that was not unexplored in the old one. I mean, maybe not as much, but it was still prevalent in the old one, trust me. God, I'm trying to think of a comedy idea. I know there's one out there. I don't know. I'm trying to think of one in my mind. I'm going blank right now. Like I said, most of them are horror ones. Most of them aren't very good. A couple of them in between are good. You got to kind of be picky and choosy. If you just don't really care and you want to go into them and you want a new slant on things, chances are they'll switch it up a little bit in the remake. They'll change a few things around. Either they'll change it around in a good way, or they'll change it around in a way that you really don't care for. That's what I've noticed. They'll either really fuck up the story, or they'll kind of fuck it up and throw some new things in that might work a little better in its advantage, and some that may not work or some that will probably work in a disadvantage. But either way, it's really not very even on most of them. I know there's a movie lurking in the back of my mind that I can't think of. I should do a sequel one. I could talk for hours and hours on sequels. But anyway, hit or miss on the horror remakes. Comedy ones, they've remade a few comedies. I can't think of any right now. I'm going to come back and maybe try to do a comedy one later on. Maybe try to think of some comedy remakes. They're mostly horror, sci-fi. Oh, God. I just thought of a horrible one. Children of the Corn the television movie is a horrible remake. Don't ever watch that one. If you've never seen it, it's not even worth checking out just for the fact that it's based on a Stephen King story. It's even more dull than the original, and the original is kind of dull, but the freaking TV movie makes it like 20 times worse. I mean, the first one is at least kind of creepy, but you won't give a rat's ass about these people they have in the second one. The couple is just griping through the whole first half of the movie. It's bitching and moaning, a bunch of hateful dialogue between them back and forth. And by the time they get killed off, you really don't give a rat's ass. I mean, you really don't care whether they die or not, because they're such an unpleasant couple to begin with. You know, you really don't care, you know, what happens to them. So, Children of the Corn TV movie remake, don't watch it. It's not very good. I don't think you'll like it. I even own that one, and it was funny whenever I bought that one. The lady was like, "Yeah, I wouldn't buy that one if I were you. That wasn't very good," and I should have listened to her opinion on that. You know, very few times I'll say, well, you know, I'll check it out, see how it is. That was one of the times I should have heeded someone's warning when they said, this movie sucks, don't watch it. I really actually should have listened. Because I normally don't let people sway my opinion on that, but this time I should have made it click a little bit in the head. Maybe next time I will. If they say if it sucks that bad, then I'm probably going to steer clear. But anyway, this has been Matt Allgood, Matt's Rants, Episode 3, Remakes. Hopefully I'm going to think of some more remakes, and I'll come back and I'll kind of let you know. The rants are getting more low-key as I go along, I noticed. They're not as, fucking shit, no, not as hateful. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that's a good or bad thing. You want me to get more hardcore in these rants, or is this a good rant pace that I got going on? Let me know. But anyway, Matt's Rants, Episode 3, Remakes. Stay tuned for more rants coming up soon. I'm going to get pissed off at people who are late. Also, I had a couple of other ones. I'll have to check back on my rant list, as I now call it, and let you know which one I'm going to be talking about next. But this is Remakes, Episode 3, Matt's Rants. We hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned. Make sure to like this video. Also, check out my other videos, my All Good reviews. Check out those, and make sure you like them, comment, share them around, do whatever the hell you want to do. This is Matt's Rants. You will hear me bitching more soon. That's a good quote. That's a good line. I'll be back to piss you off more later on. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks, guys.